Hi, everybody. My name is Joe Appello. George Conner to my left. This is All Sports Talk Show with Joe and George. This is our, George, 20th week or so, somewhere in that area?
19, 20, 21, somewhere around there.
we're still alive, still kicking. We're in the middle of the baseball playoffs as we speak. On this filming this show, Red Sox are up 2-1 in the Houston series, and Dodgers and the Brewers are 2-2. The Astros came out big in Game 1 when Verlander was untouchable, and then the Red Sox won Games 2 and 3. So that now it's in Houston for Game 4 tonight, and it's an interesting series. And if anyone's at this point tonight, Porcello against Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton, Connecticut guy from Joe Barlow in Connecticut. So obviously it's a must-win for the Astros. They don't want to be down 3-1. With 2 out of 3 left in Boston.
Going to Boston, right?
Yeah. So they got 2 more in Houston tonight and Friday, I think. So.
Now you were saying earlier you felt that Houston was the better team of the two.
I thought so going in. I just thought that lineups were kind of even, but the Houston Astro bullpen I thought was much superior to the Red Sox bullpen. A lot of times in these games, these playoffs, it's all about the bullpen. You know, the matchups and bringing the right guy in at the right time.
So Games 2 and 3, did they not get to the bullpen early enough?
Boston hit late both games. I mean, Jackie Bradley Jr. had a big triple in Game 2, basically clearing triple to put him up 5-4 at that point. They held on, and then last night he had a grand slam to kind of blow it open. I actually didn't see last night's game. I was working, but I saw the other two. It's just. You know, your big players got to come up big, but yet on the other hand, the bottom of the lineup kind of brings you back up to the top again, and you get 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
If they do anything, then you're in good shape. And Bradley's had a couple big hits. So.
Yeah. And they say, I mean, that's why, you know, almost every year they give the advantage to the American League because they tend to have better deep in the order lineups. But the National League still has a chance.
Then you look the other way when you play the World Series. And it's in the National League Park. There's no DH, so I think those guys are much used, obviously, with pitching changes and double switches and things like that, which the American League doesn't do at all.
Correct.
So I think it's a lot easier for the National League to go to the American League and just use the DH period and be done with it.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a big advantage. In
so you see the advantage going to the National League.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially with the managers knowing when to switch, and the double switch is tricky. You know.
Sure. You got to anticipate when's the pitcher spot going to come up in the next inning, or can we put him in here and not have the pitcher come to bat for a couple of innings or something.
Now the Brewers and Dodgers, I didn't watch that much National League over the year. Mostly American, watch Yankees and but the Brewers Dodgers interesting because the Dodgers are going conventional starter. Pitched 4, 5, 6 innings and then the bullpen, where the Brewers are starting somebody. Can be a starter.
An opener instead of a starter? Kind of like...
pitch 2 or 3 innings and bring another guy. In the Game 1, they brought in Gio Gonzalez started.
Oakland did that against the Yankees in the one-game playoff, right? Yeah.
So I don't know statistically how that works out, but I know that the first game they brought in Freeland, and he had a home run. And then they brought in this Josh Hader, who was lights out. You see this guy?
Yeah.
Guy's like a big Randy Johnson out there. He's just almost unhittable. And I think he pitched 3 innings the first game, pitched an inning the other night, and he's definitely a weapon. And the new thing now, new trend now, is bringing the ace reliever, which would be Hader in this case, to face the heart of the order in the biggest part of the game. So he could come in on 7th inning if 3, 4, and 5.
Not necessarily holding him off to get the last 3 outs of the game.
Yeah, because no sense of saving your closer if you're down by 2 runs in the 9th inning. So it's kind of. It's funny how the game evolves sometime, but let's just talk about my Yankees.
Rest in peace.
They rest in peace. Yeah, they just Boston handled them, and they had a rally against Kimbrel in the 9th inning in Game 4, and they just couldn't put away Stanton. A big strikeout with the base loaded, no outs. So swung the pitch about 3 feet outside in the dirt.
They were down big in that game early.
Down big, yeah. And they just didn't have it. I mean. I gotta give it to Boston. Boston played just a little bit better, and Corey made some good moves, bringing up Porcello at certain situations, and things like that. But
would you say he outmanaged the Yankees, or not necessarily? Just
I think a little bit.
Had the better
bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, how much you can do as a manager. I mean, the guy's got to play.
Yeah.
But, was interesting with the Yankees how they benched Andujar last game and they started Walker at third. I think Luke Judge had a great postseason. From the Yankees' point of view, Brett Gardner looked like he's done. He looks like he's just an average player who can run. Plays good defense in left field, pretty good defense, but it was about 235 and takes a lot of pitches, swings, get a lot of good at bats as far as running the pitch count up. But generally speaking, he's
just
all these younger guys
not
just kind
in
of
the
bypass
clutch.
him. I mean, and same thing with CeCe. CeCe's serviceable number 4 starter, but you're going to spend $10 million on him to sign him back as a 4 or 5, and you got these young guys. I think Gardner and CeCe are gone. I think they'll stick with Luke Voit next year to start, and maybe and Walker can play anywhere in the field. I think they got to keep him, and then they got Greg Bird. I don't know what they're going to do with him. Whether he can resurrect himself and come back to what he just had an awful year.
Yeah.
He ended up batting. I wrote it down there. He batted 199 for the year, 11 home runs and 38 RBIs. It didn't even make the postseason roster.
Yeah.
And Voit was 333 with 14 home runs and 33 RBIs and did well in the postseason. And then Sonny Gray didn't make the postseason roster either, so he might be gone also. Yeah. And they got Justice Sheffield, they have Chance Adams, they've got a few other young pitchers they want to look at. This guy Tarpley, they got Luzaga, and they have a couple other guys that have a chance to break into the starting rotation. So I think Sonny Gray's gone as well, and I think Bird is gone too. I don't think
Sonny Gray was a bust.
He was a bust. Yeah. He was.
So much excitement when they got him last.
I thought he was. I mean, he was a serviceable starter, but the thing is, he pitched in Oakland when it has a humongous outfield and ballpark.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's a big difference when your hard hit balls become outs in Oakland, where in other stadiums they're gone. So I think they really came to. He was good on the road for the Yankees, which is kind of weird. But anyway, he just didn't come through. He's a heck of an athlete. He was a high school quarterback, and he just didn't live up to what they thought. They thought he'd be a big time starter, maybe number 1 guy, but he never.
Well, maybe he can do the reverse John Elway. He played baseball first, now he can go to football.
Yeah, maybe he'll play a little 5'11" quarterback. Yeah. How about the Mets? What are the Mets up to in the offseason so far?
Well, actually, before we get into what they're, the sad tale of the Mets, we neglected to talk last week about David Wright.
Yes.
David Wright was, kind of the face of the franchise. To the day that he retired, they referred to him as the captain. Came up full of promise out of the Newport News, Norfolk area. Believe it or not, 14-year career he had. It doesn't seem, I think I must be old because it seems like it wasn't that long ago when he came up. He and Reyes came up together, Jose Reyes. Started out, just great numbers, batting 325, 316, 311, that kind of thing. And it kind of went downhill pretty quick for David. It was sad to see.
Those injuries start piling up, and then one after another, and then you just can't, father time and everything else. That's a tough.
But he ended up with a 296 career average over 14 years. Right. Now the last 2 years he only got, I think, not counting 2018, he had 150-ish at bats because of injuries. But kind of three key points as I watched. His career kind of go downhill. The first one was at the All-Star game, the home run derby the day before, 2006. He hit 24 home runs in the first round. Going into the All-Star game, he was a good, solid batter. Had some power. Had some pop. This is at Shea Stadium before they moved over to Citi Field. Had some power, but just never really the rest of that season got out of that home run mode. And then the numbers kind of came down. A couple years later, and I watched this happen live. Matt Cain from the San Francisco Giants hit him square in the side of the head. Went down like a sack of potatoes. I literally was watching it live and thought I just watched a man die. It was a horrible thing to see, and that I think was really the beginning of the end because from that point on, with 2 strikes, anything on the inside half of the plate, he was just diving out of the way. And hey, you can't blame the guy.
I can't.
But about that time is when all the back injuries started and spinal stenosis and. I mean, really a great franchise player. He would literally, when he was getting ready to play back in, say, 16, 17, even 15, he had a pretty good season in 15 when they went to the series. I mean, it was 3 hours of prep to get ready for the game.
Right, stuff, yeah.
You know, and a lot of guys could, you know, he certainly had the money. He could have just cashed it in.
Right.
But it was always a class act. He was kind of our version of Derek Jeter. Never said the wrong thing at a press conference. Never behaved the wrong way. Was always the great team guy.
Right.
You could see him when he was on the field back, you know, a few years ago when he was, you know, on the field all the time. He was always the guy talking to the young pitchers, to the rookies and things like that, calming things down.
Toward the end of the last couple games this season, I guess they pitch hit him on a Friday night.
Yep.
I don't know what he popped up. I don't know, he struck out or popped up, I think.
Pinch hit him on a Friday night. They announced, basically, they knew it was going to happen.
Yep.
So he's getting ready. He's going to bat in the pitcher spot at the bottom of the inning. And all this anticipation. God, finally they get the third out, go to commercial, come back, first pitch, ground ball to third baseman. And you can see him laughing in the dugout afterwards, saying, "I should have taken a pitch."
Yeah.
You know, there's all this buildup, and literally it was a 4-second at bat.
Yeah,
and then Saturday, they was kind of, I like the way they did it.
Classic.
They started him at third base. They started Jose Reyes at shortstop.
Well, before the game, though, they had his little daughter throw the first ball.
His daughter throws out the pitch.
Yeah, I had his wife and his two little daughters.
Yep.
The little one, Olivia, I think, is maybe 2.
Yeah.
And so she threw the ball to him and played.
Yep.
That was kind of neat.
Yeah. And so, they had him play a few innings.
Yeah. The funny part about that, I think the first time up, I think he walked. And the second time up, he hit a foul ball on a first baseline. And Pete O'Brien was playing first base for them. He catches the foul ball. And every time that O'Brien got near the ball or touched the ball, the crowd was booing him unmercifully just because he caught the damn, pop up. Like, what are you supposed to do? Drop it because he felt sorry for him? So
that first at bat, they got a man on, and the Mets have not been playing this way, but you could see what they were trying to do. Yeah. Obviously, they're not playing for anything. So then the second batter up, game name escapes me now, bunts him over. So I mean, they're clearly just trying to, maybe he can hit a fly ball, maybe he can get the ball to the outfield, get an RBI, or move the guy over, or whatever else. Yeah. And then, the guy, I mean, it was a walk, but
it was a tough walk.
Serve one up,
exactly.
Move one down the middle.
There you go.
So David Wright, sorry to see you go. Hopefully, I mean, certainly if he wants to, there's a future in the game for him. If he wanted to get into management or in front office type stuff.
It's up to him. He's got those 2 little kids, so they're only 2 and 8 months or whatever.
Yeah.
So does he want to start be on the road? You're 100% right, though. He has a place in the game forever and ever if you want to be a coach or scout or whatever you want to do. But I'm sure he's fine. But
so thanks for the memories, David Wright.
That was good.
We'll miss you.
Yeah. I like the Mets' future. I think they got some. They got a good future. They need a couple missing pieces. They always need a closer, though, like a bona fide shutdown closer, because they got Gazelman and they got Lugo, who are good mid guys. Yeah. And Lugo can start a little bit. And they got those 4 or 5 starters that pitch well all year, and they're healthy. They got a tough staff, and I love this McNeil at second. So he looks really, really good. Whether he holds up for all year, who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
I think they like the Jay Bruce experiment at first. Mm-hmm. And then it got Rosario, who kept getting better and better at short.
Yeah, I think Rosario's got a lot of promise. He came in with a little bit of expectations, kind of quickly deflated that right off the bat, and then kind of worked
again,
up
the whole key for me for the Mets is Cespedes. If he comes back healthy and any kind of player that he's one of the best players in the game, if right. Yeah, if he's healthy, right.
But I think if you're the Mets,
can't count on him.
You really can't bank on that. You can't bank on Cespedes being the guy. If he is, think of it like a bonus.
Yeah, he had the one heel done. He had the other heel done, so he's recovering from that. Yeah. And God knows what happens.
How's his golf swing? Is golf swing getting better?
I'm sure it's good. Yeah. And all his cars he has. Yeah. But anyway, let's move on to a little pro football. I'm going to do a little roundup, go around the league real quick. This past week, I know this is taped, the past weekend's games. First of all, last Thursday, Giants lost to Philly 34-13. Saquon Barkley had a monster game.
He had a huge first half, did he?
Huge first half. He had like almost 100 yards first half, and they scored.
Including, he had like a 51.
Yeah, they had 6 points.
Yeah.
So, I mean, big one.
Yeah, he had a 51-yard run in the first half. So
He ended up 13 for a 130 rushing the ball, and then like almost 100 yards in receiving. But again, they got their butt kicked 34-13. Philly's starting to play a little bit better now. They're 3-3. Giants 1-5. Seasons,
There was a moment there, as one of my Eagle fan friends said, it was pretty disturbing when the Browns had a better record than the Eagles did.
Yeah.
So they at least got them into a tie.
But Wentz looks better and better. I mean, he's got to come back from that tough injury. I guess Odell Beckham, playing his drama games and hitting water coolers, air conditioning on the side. Just play the game.
Yeah.
I don't want all this drama.
Giants are. I don't know, John. I mean, I know you're a Giants fan, but I don't know what the future is there.
Then Eli looks
old,
mediocre at best, old.
Looks
so
old.
What do you turn to? Do you put in Lauletta, who's 4th or 5th round draft choice from Richmond? I mean, does he provide the type of energy like Baker Mayfield provided in a Jet game? I know he's no Baker Mayfield, but I mean, maybe he's a little more mobile. Maybe he makes some things happen. Maybe it rises, the expectation of the rest of the team. Who knows? But that might be coming. I mean,
offensive line is still a huge handicap.
You got to have somebody mobile back there that can maybe make something happen. But I mean,
so pretty scary to put a guy out of, a former Richmond Spider. He's not exactly playing in the Rose Bowl type games.
What other alternative? Or just stick with Eli and just take your lumps the rest of the year, and then
I don't know.
Draft another guy next year.
I mean, great to have a running game because you figure, okay, now they've got a running game. Now you can take some pressure off of that.
Yep.
You can use some play action stuff. You can throw on first down and mix it up a little bit, but it just doesn't seem like it's happening.
They'll start keying on Barkley, and so they'll try to shut that down and say, okay, Eli, you got to throw the ball. Maybe that helps the offense. With Odell Beckham and the rest of the stuff they got, I don't know. The defense looked mediocre again too. They kind of quit. No hustle on a couple plays. Tough to watch. But anyway, Jets beat the Colts shootout 42-34.
Jets,
they're hanging in there.
Not a lot of expectations. It's a rebuilding year, whatever else. But Darnold is looking better and better.
Good.
Yeah. Defense is fast.
Defense is fast.
Yeah.
Yep. Jason Myers of the Jets have 7 field goals. So I mean, that's
if you had him on your fantasy team,
you'd be all set. Yeah.
All set.
Chargers beat the Browns. Browns kind of back to earth a little bit. They actually I think they were favored or at one point underdog in a game against the Chargers. Chargers came out and just rocked them.
Yeah, that was an interesting game, and I saw some of the highlights in the snap, and I was actually listening last night on WOR. They had Phil Simms was on before the game, and he was saying he was even confused looking at the defense that the Chargers put out there, watching it on film. I mean, they were going with 4 safeties. They were, just completely
confusing,
strange looks that really was a little bit more than Mayfield could handle.
Process, yeah. That's good.
But nice to see that the Chargers are trying anyway.
They're kind of like
a long time
under the radar team, and they're always Philip Rivers is good QB, man. They're always in every game. You never hear from them down the West Coast out there, but
I mean, they've done basically nothing.
Then Seahawks beat the Raiders in London. Derek Carr got sacked 6 times. He hurt his arm a little bit. I don't know what the extent of that is. The Raiders, I heard one guy say he can't wait till John Gruden's contract runs out in 10 years. It's a long wait. How about the Dolphins beating up the Bears? 31-28 in overtime. I don't know if you watched any of the NFL pregame. All they were talking about how wonderful, how great the Bear defense is, one of the best of all time, and Khalil Mack, And sure enough, they go out there. They had no sacks against Brock Osweiler, who started for Tannehill, who was hurt, and it's just amazing. Frank Gore had 101 yards. Kenyon Drake had 57 yards. They ran the ball right up the gut against the Bears, and ended up beating the Dolphins, beating the Bears. I mean.
Dolphins
you never know, NFL.
Dolphins looking pretty good.
Playing pretty well,
4-2.
Yeah.
They were leading the AFC for a little while.
Vikings beat up the Cards. Who cares? Then you got that big one down. You got Texans against the Bills. Josh Allen gets hurt, and Nathan Peterman comes in, throws a pick 6. There you go. And then that was over. That was 2013. Rams, Broncos in the snow. It was snowing earlier, but by game time, the field was clear.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley took it over. Goff didn't play very well, but Gurley had 208 yards rushing. Cowboys blew out the Jags. That was a big surprise. Yeah, Blake Bortles went back to his Blake Bortles of old act.
Yeah. The same team that beat up the Patriots.
Imagine. And and then Ravens shut out the Titans. Ravens had 11 sacks. They got a pretty good defense, Ravens. Keep them in the ball game all the time. And then the Pats beat Falcons in a shootout. I mean, not the Falcons,
Chiefs.
the Chiefs, 43-40.
That was the first, New England offense type of game they've had this year.
Yeah.
Over 500 yards,
back and
bunch of
forth.
points, no defense.
Yep.
Still, I mean, Patriots obviously a great team, but that defense just hasn't.
Yeah.
It seems like the last 3 or 4 years they just haven't gotten to that.
Yeah, I think they're an
What you would
average
expect.
defense. I agree. I agree. Their offense is always, you got Brady, you got chance every time. Then Falcons, Bucks in a shootout, 34-29. Julio Jones had a big game, 10 catches for 143. The end of the game, the Bucks had a chance to go ahead with a touchdown, and Jameson Winston decides to run the ball up the middle. The quarterback keep it, the time runs out. Okay, instead of throwing the end zone or trying something.
Yeah.
And then Steelers beat Cincinnati. James Conner had another good game. He's had 100 yards last 2 games, over 100 yards last 2 games, as Le'Veon Bell sits home. And then Redskins beat the Panthers 23-17. So Adrian Peterson had 97 yards. So so that was a quick roundup.
They're doing 3 consecutive weeks in London. Is that right?
Is that what it is? I don't really know.
Yeah, because I know that the Titans and the Chargers play this week.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure next week.
Okay.
What's your take on this going to Wembley Stadium to play American football in London?
I don't know why, unless you're thinking about putting a franchise there or something, which would be, I don't know how you do that. But
I don't know how you could do that, yeah.
Obviously, they're paying a lot of money, getting a lot of money for it, and maybe they think they're trying to publicize the league worldwide.
TV rights kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I don't get it.
Maybe for the players, to go to London, they go somewhere different.
Yeah, it's bad enough if you're, the screaming or the fighting rainbows of University of Hawaii.
Yeah.
They're such a handicap because it's a huge deal for the University of Hawaii to go anywhere for a game. How are you going to how are you going to have an NFL team with a home in London?
Yeah.
And you're going to fly 12, 13 hours to get to the West Coast.
Right. That's a good point. I don't know what the deal there is.
Yeah.
What
they're smarter men than we are, though, Joe. They're figuring out something.
Let's have a plan. I got a quick for you. Odds to win the 2019 Masters.
Odds to win the 2000.
I got that right here.
Wow.
Yeah, did a little research.
For recreational purposes
Who
only,
do you
of course.
think? Who do you think the top guy is?
Tiger Woods.
You got it. 17-2.
17-2. Okay.
Number 2 guy.
Number 2 guy.
And what'd you pick?
Patrick Reed.
Nope.
McIlroy.
Patrick Reed's 30-1.
Patrick Reed, I think, is going to go on a speaking tour of how to build team unity.
Yeah.
Number 2, McIlroy.
He's number 5. 14-1.
Dustin Johnson.
3.
Oh,
12-1.
so close. Jordan Spieth.
Number 2.
Oh, yeah, I got the top
10-1.
Okay.
And number 4 is
Justin Thomas.
You got it.
Hey, not bad.
And number 6, last one.
Number 6. Brooks Koepka. Thanks for the hint there.
Yep.
Joe's giving me the worst.
And your boy Tommy Fleetwood, 30-1
30-1. So what number does that put him at? 10, 11?
He's somewhere around there. Yeah. Bottom half.
He's again. I'm not gambling on golf by any means, but he's kind of gone. Fleetwood, who I've followed. I was just talking to somebody today. I'm like, hey, give me a little credit. Like 5-6 years ago, I was like, this guy's going to be the kid. In majors, he's creeping up there. It's 50-1, 40-1, now 30-1. So we'll see. Good find there.
I guess they believe in Tiger. I guess, huh? Man, I guess
everybody wants
coming
to.
on.
It's like we're talking about going back to baseball for a second.
Yeah.
There's no question that the television wants Sox Dodgers.
Right.
The worst thing for them would be Houston Milwaukee. I think it'd be kind of cool to watch. But and then Tiger's the same thing in golf. I mean, when Tiger's anywhere in contention,
people tune in.
The ratings just it's exponential how high they go up.
But he's become kind of I wouldn't say conservative, but just kind of been a good boy the last few years. He hasn't got any trouble or anything.
No trouble.
Nothing crazy.
He obviously went through that tough thing. Big thing coming up here not too long. Thanksgiving weekend. You got the big shootout out in the desert.
Oh, that's right.
Mickelson and Woods. Which the way it's shaping up now is, I mean, if you're going to pay $70 for a pay-per-view, you might be throwing $69 out the window.
Is that what it
because
is? Wow.
yeah, I think I mean, Woods is playing really well. Mickelson, played terrible at the Ryder Cup. Then he comes back in the Safeway Open, which is actually the first tournament of the 2019
season.
season.
Regular TV, just not enough.
I don't know if nobody wanted it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting.
But they, Mickelson just played horrible at the Ryder Cup, and then now the week after the Ryder Cup, the Safeway Open goes on. That's the first tournament of the 2019 season.
Okay.
So we're already at the taping of the show, October 17th,
okay.
There's already been 2 events in the 2019 season.
Right. Okay, nice.
Time's flying by.
Yeah, sure is.
And the PGA Tour does a little bit of what the NFL is doing, and I think it's certainly more feasible for the PGA Tour because it is an international game and people are watching it from all over the place. But last week and this week they're playing tournaments, Malaysia and Korea, over in Asia. But they're actually American PGA Tour events, but they just have them over there.
Okay. Now, as far as college football goes, it's the same old characters. So the top 3 anyway. At Alabama, who looks like hands above everyone else. Clemson, who's had a couple closer games, but they're ranked number 2 in Ohio State, who had a couple closer games for them. They only won by 25 or 30, and they're number 3. 2-3, Clemson, Ohio State 2-3, 3-2.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is the 4th spot is really the one that I would say up for grabs. Notre Dame's kind of moved into that spot. They're 7-0. Georgia got beat by LSU. Got spanked by LSU actually last week.
Very handily, yeah.
39-19.
That was LSU coming off of a loss to Florida. University of Florida had beat LSU the week before that. So I think LSU was a little fired up.
Yeah,
going into that game.
that was home too. So that was a big win for LSU, and a tough loss for Georgia. Now, Georgia, going down the road, some of these schools aren't having tough games for like 2-3 weeks, and then playoffs and stuff. So it's kind of
it's been the SEC has been a kind of a wacky conference this year.
Yeah.
The only unattractive thing you like to see parity and upsets and everything else, but you got Alabama there.
And Tennessee comes in and beats Auburn in Auburn. Another
Blake say,
who knows?
At the end of the year, Alabama's going to go to Atlanta and they're going to win the game. I mean,
you could conceivably have Alabama play. They play Clemson in the SEC championship game, or whoever LSU actually maybe, and whoever wins that and.
Alabama's from the West in the SEC. In the East, you've got Florida, Georgia, and then Kentucky, South Carolina, Tennessee.
So in theory, if Georgia wins out and beats Alabama in the SEC championship game, both probably could go.
Right, which is what happened last year.
Yeah, so both could go.
Yeah.
So that's what I think Georgia's hoping for. Michigan looks pretty good. They kind of got their offensive problems fixed a little bit. Shea Patterson's playing pretty well for them. They put a hit on Wisconsin. They put a hurting on them. Wisconsin beat them pretty good.
Yeah,
that was home though. But they have Michigan State and they got Penn State coming up. So and then Ohio State.
Michigan State beat up Penn State I think last week. Right?
Yeah, about 21-17.
Now Penn State was ranked in the top 10 at the beginning of the season, and I think a lot of those preseason guys overlooked it.
Well, they beat by Ohio State.
They lost a lot of defense.
Yeah, they beat by Ohio State and then Michigan State back-to-back. So they're like 16th, 17th ranked.
I haven't seen the new rankings. I think they were 18 ranked when they got beat. So
so they're it looks like the Pac-12 won't have anybody that could possibly go into the Final Four. It's interesting. Some of the coaches were saying that they wanted to have 8 teams in the which I have no problem with. Why not? I mean, those other 4 teams, number 5, 6, 7, and 8, would still go to a bowl game. Sure. Obviously a lesser bowl. So why not have them just play in a playoff situation? 1 plays 8 and 2 plays 7, blah blah blah, and just move on. It would kind of give someone like UCF last year, who was undefeated, a legit chance to win it, because they were outside looking in. They were going to end up being 14-0.
Yep.
And so
they had a parade and they got rings.
Yeah, mythical championship. Yeah, like years ago, they used to get voted on.
Back in the old days of the AP, UPI.
Yeah.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, you get voted on. It was kind of weird.
That was back Oklahoma, Nebraska, Florida.
It's almost like caveman days, when you get voted on.
Yeah.
So college football is funny because it seemed to be the same old Same scenario. It's almost like the NBA. You know, your final 4 teams in the NBA, you can pick already. Without even starting.
Yeah. In August, you know who's going to be there.
Yeah, you know, and but that's just the way it is. And the biggest thing in college, I mean, Tua, to me, the quarterback for Alabama, he looks unbelievable out there. I mean, for a sophomore, he looks like a Steve Young out there. You know, left-handed thrower, just throws the ball on a dime all the time. He can run if he has to, but he banged up his knee a little bit.
Yeah, he said he got a little nicked up,
but I think he's all right. And then Jalen Hurts caught a pass from him right in front of the end zone last night and got drilled pretty good. He looked at him like, okay, you can throw me a pass with, you know, the guy in front of me, but that was pretty funny. But, Alabama's Alabama, you know, with the best coach in the country and the best facilities and the pedigree and
the best recruits every year.
4 or 5-star recruits. Yeah, I mean, it's tough for them not to not to be on top every year.
Now, Nick Saban, he never gotten in any trouble, right? Never any
violations,
recruiting violations or anything else like that. It's an amazing thing.
Well, like you were saying,
not saying that that I question it, but for a program of that size,
I think a lot of those guys, their mindset there is like, okay, I want to play pro football and I don't want to screw this up. So I think there's a really tight leash on those guys that they just don't do anything that.
And credit to Nick Saban as an individual, but that whole program and their ADs and things like that to stay on top of all that stuff.
Like you were saying last week with your the guy at the University of Hartford with you, how they control everything.
Oh yeah.
And that's a smaller, lesser school.
Sure.
And it was golf. So
so you can control it. A football program of this size and the number of people that are in the system, say now to get recruited for the next 2 years.
I think a lot of those times at those schools, if you have somebody that can control things internally, he has some kind of problem going.
Yeah.
There's guys that are actually like in and around all these guys to say, okay, so and so's hanging out with a bad group. Let's get that on top of that. I think that happens a lot.
Yeah.
You're never going to hear about.
But again, whether it's a player getting in trouble or Saban or one of his staff doing something just the smallest bit improper, out on a recruiting trip or something like that, credit to him because there's so many rules.
Right.
You can have the greatest intention of all and unknowingly get it, do something wrong.
What happened to Bettino? I mean, there's nobody who doesn't know what's happening in this program with all that stuff. So I mean, these top-notch coaches know when you go to the bathroom, for crying out loud. But they know everything about their players in the program, and then for something like egregious to go on, you're like, how does that possibly happen?
Yeah.
You wonder, but then again, a lot of times the coach is himself, the assistant coach or recruiter, is in on the middle of that too. Maybe the coach doesn't know as much as you should know. That might be more than the other way. But now the NBA kicked off last night. It's something else, the NBA. I mean, such a big market as far as the TV contract and all that, and all the salaries and everything. And it's such a long season. And again, it's going to be probably Celtics in the East, Celtics Toronto, and then you've got the other side. You've got the Rockets, the Warriors, OKC. Maybe the Lakers on the outside, depending on LeBron.
Lakers with LeBron and
it's Houston with Carmelo Anthony should be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah.
OKC's, you got Russell Westbrook, who's could be considered the best.
Now
player.
LeBron going to the Lakers. We've talked about it before. Is that going to be a 2-3 year building process?
I think what they're going to do.
They don't have the tools right now.
I think what they're going to do is they sign a couple of those guys, Beasley, Rondo. It's like these 1-year deals, these short deals.
Okay.
And I think they're going to kind of hold their own this year. Their goal probably is just to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Maybe make a little noise. LeBron stays healthy, and then next year they can go out for a big free agent, whether it's Anthony Davis. I don't know if Kawhi signed a big contract, but anyway, like Anthony Davis, I think it'll be free. I could see Anthony Davis going out there with LeBron.
Yeah.
Kind of putting that together. Because you're Anthony Davis, you're playing with the Pelicans. What's the goal there? You're gonna, I mean, Boogie Cousins left there already, so that was your 1-2 punch. That was pretty special. Then the Warriors are coming up with the contract. The Warriors come to a situation where they got their 5-6 big guys. A couple of guys' contracts are coming up soon, so they got to either pay them or. And I don't know how that works honestly. I know Durant's a free agent next year, so maybe he goes somewhere after 2 years. Who knows? I mean, it's such a tough thing. The way they run around and the contracts and where to go So I don't know. So the NBA is it's a long thing. I think the best thing about the NBA for me is watching the TNT pregame with Shaq. Okay, they're hilarious. And, Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith and Ernie Jones. I mean, they're just
they're having fun.
They're hilarious. And one of my favorite parts is seeing when the playoffs, when they start getting beaten, they go 1, 2, 3 Cancun, and they like when the teams are mailed in, they don't want to play anymore. That's one of the funniest things I've seen. Now the Knicks, I used to be a big Knicks fan. I haven't watched them in a long time.
I was the same. Yeah.
I don't get MSG, but they're not starting their rookie Kevin Knox. They're starting Trey Burke, Nikina, Tim Hardaway, Enes Kanter, and Lance Thomas as their starting 5. So they're going to be. Who knows what's going to be? That Trey Burke has played himself onto the roster. Sorry, he looks pretty good as a little point guard. But they play the Hawks tonight with Trey Young's starting for the Hawks. So.
It's a long cry from Ewing, Oakley, Starks.
God. Yeah, all the guys used to have were fun to watch.
Yeah,
but the Knicks are. But I think Fizdale's a good coach, good guy. I think.
I still say we said it on the show back in the springtime. LeBron going to even Philadelphia,
anywhere,
but New York would have been, I think, a huge victory, huge win for the NBA, for the game.
Right. And then the Sixers have Markel Fultz is back.
Yeah, they're kind of.
So I got Embiid.
I could see them playing pretty good ball.
They obviously have a threat too. They got beat by the Celtics last night, pretty good in the opening, but that doesn't mean anything. But so it's like I say, it's a long journey for them. Then you got, I guess UConn kicked off their first night, men and women.
Oh yeah, they do the midnight thing or whatever.
They had a dunk contest. They have a girl who plays UConn, a freshman. She's from Oregon, and she attempted a couple dunks, but couldn't throw it down. But she's like 6'3", but she almost dunked the ball 3 times. It was pretty. She won a slam dunk contest in high school. She was being recruited by them, but it's pretty interesting. They're going to be. They got Katie Lou back, and they're going to be awesome as usual. The women. Yeah, and guys should be better too. I think Curly do a good job with them. So
I haven't paid much attention. I don't know if any big blue chip recruits are coming in or whatever else. And that's all. That's an awkward one too, Eric. Right, Kevin Ollie would have started to recruit a guy because you can start when they become a junior in high school.
Right.
So what commitments did he make?
It's just too bad.
Was Hurley able to? If a kid was interested, could Hurley keep that going?
I would think so.
Start over again. I don't know.
He's a good guy to play for. I mean, he's going to be there. I think he would have signed a 4 or 5 year contract, so he's going to be there.
In theory.
Yeah,
Unless there's cause.
And you got Jim Calhoun open up the season at St. Joe's over there.
You going to go to a game? We should go to a game.
I wouldn't mind going. That would be fun to watch.
Yeah.
That would be fun to watch.
Maybe, scalp some tickets, go on Ticketmaster or StubHub, whatever it's going to be.
I don't know if we need to do that, but I can just walk in and say wherever you want.
I don't think so. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can they fit 1,000 people?
I don't know what the capacity is.
Say it's 1,500, 2,000 people. Guarantee you're going to see that many people there.
Yeah.
Not to watch some kid from the Farmington Valley light it up from the 3-point line, but just to see Coach.
See Calhoun over there. So the NFL this week, you got Cardinals and Broncos Thursday night. Yeah. The Cardinals, what is it? Cardinals 0-5? I think they haven't won a game yet. They're at least they're starting Josh Rosen, I think, so that helps. What happens to Bradford?
Quick question before we get back into the game. In the very beginning of the season, I don't think TV has the option to do it, but at some point in the season, they can move a game, right? They can take a 1 o'clock game and move it to an 8 o'clock or something like that?
I think they can, they have the option.
But they can't do it this time of year? Like, does it kick in at a certain point?
I don't know, but it does make sense after maybe halfway through or something. I don't know.
To take maybe a key game and put it prime time. And the reason I ask was this past Sunday, the Patriots had the 8 o'clock game.
Right.
And the Red Sox were playing. Right. I don't know if it was a 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock game, but you had, it wasn't a problem for you or I. But if you have the classic New England Red Sox Patriots fan, they're both playing at the same time.
They're both in Boston, too. They're both in town that time.
Yeah. Foxborough's an hour and a half from Boston, but.
But neither
stadiums have a parking lot. By the way,
I don't think they would do something like that. Maybe within their own sport switch it, but they wouldn't switch it
because of another
baseball.
sport.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that at all.
Yeah,
because how often would that happen?
Now it used to be. say for the first, when the World Series started, the first Sunday, baseball would not have an 8 o'clock game. If the series was still going the next Sunday, they would.
Right.
But I don't know if they do that anymore, or
yeah,
if maybe, I mean, quite frankly, with viewership and things like that, baseball should probably be.
But
They should probably kneel down to the foot.
They finally got to the point where baseball plays at 2 different times now, both series.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah, because when they're
the old
playing on the
days,
same day.
They used to play, opposite sometimes.
Yeah, I also remember racing home from school as a kid. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there was a game on.
Yeah. In the old days, it was playing.
Now, like last night, they played five and 8.
Before they had lights on.
Hey.
Yo, wait.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. So what else we got?
So what else you got lined up for the NFL this week? You got the Thursday night dud.
Jets
Denver
play
and
Vikings.
Arizona.
So that's a big one. And New York.
Yeah.
So you can see where they're at.
That's a big one.
Yeah. And,
Jets are 3-3.
Pats and Bears.
Looking better. So say the Jets, say halfway through the season, if they can be a 500 record,
Yep.
I think that's
They've been playing.
not exactly a lofty goal, but it could happen.
And then Patriots go to Chicago, play the Bears. Should be
That could get ugly.
That could be interesting.
Although, the Bears supposedly had the great defense. Maybe they just had a bad week against Miami. And
I think they were like a little full of themselves and just kind of like
came out flat.
Yeah, we got this. Tannehill's not playing. Osweiler's playing. We'll just blow him out. Then they didn't get near him all day for some reason.
Yeah.
So.
Who do your G-men go up against?
They play the Falcons on Monday night.
That's right.
Monday night, yeah.
Now let me ask you, because as a lifelong Jets fan, a lot of times, obviously the Jets are not great teams. I have no complaints if they're watching New York Jets. Over the course of my life, there's been plenty of years we go to playoffs and things like that. Yeah, we don't win the Super Bowl or anything like that, but there's years when they're just horrible.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'd want it to be was an 8 o'clock game or a Monday night game or whatever else, because I just feel like, man, the whole nation's watching my team just stink it up.
Or the other way, sometimes they get up for those games and they play well.
Yeah.
That's happened too. With the Giants, I could actually see them going to Atlanta and beating the Falcons.
Yeah. Well, you got a 1-5 team versus a 2-4 team. It's not exactly. Neither are a powerhouse, obviously.
Matt Ryan get a couple picks.
Yeah.
I could see that. No problem.
Kansas City gets to host the Bengals.
Yeah.
I think that Kansas City's got some momentum. I know they lost to the Patriots, but they played them tough and things like that.
Yep.
So it gives Kansas City a chance to go to 6-1.
Yep. Ravens, Saints. I think the Saints are pretty good.
Yeah, New Orleans just doesn't go away.
No, we got Breeze.
Breeze been there.
That offensive weapons.
What's he been there now? Was he in the same draft? He was in the same draft as Manning?
He's 39. No, I don't think so. He's 39. And Manning's like 37.
Okay.
I think it's either a year or two older.
Because Manning got originally drafted to the. I'm thinking Rivers.
Rivers. Manning.
Well, no. Wait a minute.
No, that was.
It was Breeze. Breeze was a Charger at the beginning, wasn't he?
He didn't get hurt.
Okay.
He didn't get hurt.
So I thought maybe they were in the same class.
Yeah. Breeze.
Because Manning got drafted by the Chargers and said he wouldn't play, right?
Manning and Rivers in the same class.
Manning and Rivers are. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But Breeze, I think, might have been already there, and then he got hurt.
Okay.
And then went to New Orleans. But yeah.
And he broke the other Manning's record.
Yeah.
He was on there. It was a Thursday night game, I think.
Yeah, with his wife and a couple. He got 2-3 boys. It was pretty cool. He's a great guy too. He's a class act too, Breeze.
But they've had a single style offense. They're just run and gun the whole time. He plays half of his games
extremely
indoors.
Accurate.
Plays half of his games indoors.
Yeah.
So it's a pass happy.
He's another guy who's never gotten hurt really since that time.
Yeah.
He's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So the baseball continues tonight. Both games. Kershaw plays against Miley. Now Kershaw was interesting. I watched the first game he pitched, first opening game, and he wasn't getting above 91.
Yeah.
His curveball is still a curveball. Great action on his curveball, but it looks like he lost 4 or 5 miles an hour on his fastball for whatever reason, and that's huge.
Sure.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So he in theory, he's the guy he should be the Verlander or the Dodgers. He's the man. He should come out there and
he's your shutdown guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. This year he was 9-5. I don't know. He looks average to me. Then the Red Sox got Porcello against Charlie Morton, and Porcello just throws strikes. It doesn't walk anybody. Keeps the team in the game, and Yeah, the Red Sox, they actually could. I mean, they could sneak this in. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know?
but like you were saying about the bullpen, if they can, it becomes so important for the Red Sox starter to get through at least 6 innings and not get knocked around.
Yeah.
And then ask the bullpen to, to pitch an extra inning or two, because at some point that weakness is going to show.
Yeah.
But if you can keep them hanging out in the bullpen.
Yeah,
They still play the spoons like they used to do back in the
I don't know.
2005, 6, 7 season, somewhere around there?
I don't know. I want to. We got a few minutes.
You miss those days?
I don't know anything about that. All right.
All right, what do you got?
Let's go with some projected start lines for the NBA real quick. We're kind of filling time here. For the, let's go with the Knicks. Knicks we went over with.
Yep.
The Minnesota Timberwolves are so proud of themselves with that Jimmy Butler stuff. You see all that stuff he goes out and this and that. Golden State starts their Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Durant, Draymond Green, and Jordan Bell are their starting 5. The Rockets have Chris Paul, Harden, P.J. Tucker, Carmelo, and Clint Capella as their starting 5. Because they lost.
That's awful good.
They lost Ariza and Luka Bobo. They lost him. They lost those 2 guys. But basically, they replaced him with Carmelo Anthony and P.J. Tucker. Got those 2 guys. The Lakers start Rondo, Caldwell Pope, Brendan Ingram, LeBron James, and JaVale McGee. And I guess they have Ball coming off the bench, I guess, at this point. I'm running the point.
Is his dad okay with that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dad's all right. He ruined those. He ruined the other 2 kids. I don't even know what they're doing. They're not even playing anywhere. The 2 younger balls.
Did they go to Yugoslavia?
Lithuania or somewhere, and averaged like 2 points a game, and then came back here. And then the younger one has no eligibility because he played pro, and then the other one, got kicked off of UCLA's team. So I have no idea. I don't know if they're playing like the D League or something. I don't know.
It's never a good sign when you get thrown off your college team.
Amazing, yeah. And the
you know who else got thrown off his college team?
Who?
Remember we were talking about Patrick Reed?
Yep.
The golfer? Got thrown off his college team.
He was stealing something or something.
Yeah, he's stealing stuff, cheating a little bit.
Nice.
Allegedly.
Yeah, good job.
But never a good sign. Never a good. You never get, like in the NBA or NFL, you never get the tag. He's a good locker room guy.
Right.
If you got thrown off your couch.
Here's a good one. Who's the coach of the Phoenix Suns?
I have no idea.
Igor Kokosluk.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Can you imagine this?
Igor.
Of all the guys out there, Igor Kokosluk is his name or something.
Okay.
Who the heck's this guy? Brett Brown's the
Maybe
coach
before
of
the next show, you can do a little book report on Igor.
What was he?
Tell us about his background.
Yeah. Spurs have a couple guys I never heard of starting. DeJounte Murray starting. DeMar Rosen, Rudy Gay, and LaMarcus Aldridge and Paul Gasol as their starting 5. So that's an interesting team.
How many teams in the NBA? 30, 32?
32, I think.
32.
Yeah, 32 now. Yeah.
So all the dreamers,
31 make the playoffs.
all the kids all over the country. Now you got players coming in from Europe and everything else. There's 380 roster spots available.
The odds
84, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
They can't just carry 12 guys?
12 guys, up to 15, I think they have like a three-man, like a taxi squad.
Not an active roster.
Yeah,
taxi squad.
Yeah. Well, they have their D League too. They can move guys back and forth, but
they can. Okay.
Yeah, they to make I think the NBA stuff. Once you make it, you're good.
I think that's the hardest.
But up to that point, I mean, I don't know how you can say to yourself, "I'm going to make the NBA." Unless you...
Yeah, because if you look at there's only, say, 12 active roster, 15, whatever. So you're talking like roughly 400 roster spots available.
Yeah.
But if you're a center, not a LeBron type of center, but an actual, Patrick Ewing type
old school
center, well, guess what? Now there's only 64 roster spots available because every team's going to maybe carry 2 of those.
Or go with 3 forwards and 2 guards like they did in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's pretty scary.
And out of 12 guys every year, in theory, say 12 guys on a roster, we'll go with that. How many guys return?
Yeah.
I mean, how many guys retire or get hurt? 1, 2, maybe?
Yeah, 1 or 2 per team.
Leave.
Yeah.
And so your spots to try out for or to fill are just You know, you got guys in the D League and the European leagues everywhere.
Yeah.
Been playing like guys like remember Stephen Telfair, was that his name?
Yeah.
He was there, and Stephen Marbury went over to.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine who worked for a short time as a sports agent and signed a number of players to go and play in Europe.
Yeah.
It's not the millions of dollars you're going to make in the NBA, but it's not a bad gig.
Yeah.
It's not a bad gig. You know, whatever you make, you know, whatever your contract is, you think about it here and you say, oh, well, you know, you're going to make X number of dollars, but you got to pay rent, mortgage, car, this, that, and the other. Over there, there's nothing.
Yeah.
They give you a house, they give you transportation. You don't have to eat there 3 times a day, but if you want to, it's 3 times a day. So I mean, you could squirrel away 85% of your income. Tax situation, I don't know what happens there. But I don't think it's a terrible deal because I'm not sure that the U.S. taxes get into that. I don't know.
Wonder how
I'll have to ask my accountant.
I wonder how the European players feel about having American players come over there too. Is there animosity there? Is they taking their spot?
I think in some ways they have to welcome it because if nothing else, it's raised the profile of their leagues. There's more Europeans coming to play in the NBA now than ever.
Right.
So I think if anything, it might kind of maybe raise the quality of the play over there.
Right.
And certainly get more eyeballs on the game.
Right.
You know, because 20 years ago, you weren't getting guys from Europe to come over and play in the NBA.
Right. It's such a vast scouting now. I mean, even with baseball, you get Dominican guys and Venezuelan guys.
Sure.
They're going all, you know. Now, the Mets AAA team moved to Syracuse from Vegas. So that was,
which I like. I mean, you're sitting, if you're the guy at home watching the show, you might be going, "What's the big deal if it's in Las Vegas or Syracuse?" It's frankly just closer to home.
But the thing is that
it's a 40-minute flight.
Well, they're trying to have a move where the top minor league team is closer to the parent club.
Absolutely,
it makes sense. I don't know why you wouldn't.
You got to move somebody up for a spot start.
Right.
You literally, I mean, there's times it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you need somebody on, towing the rubber at 7:05.
Right, and then
you can't get the guy from Vegas.
Yeah, then maybe you can go watch your teams play or watch the guys play and see what's going on there. But
so because their AAA team was the Newport, the Tide down in Newport News. Or Norfolk Tide. They were there for years and years and years, and then they kind of moved around. They went to New Orleans for a couple of years, then out into the West Coast League. Which the other reason I wasn't crazy about playing in the Vegas League is there's zero pitching out there.
Yeah,
zero.
Yeah, plus a thin air.
So you'd have these guys coming. Oh, hey, the guy's hitting great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like here in Colorado. That's why it's hard to tell some of those Met guys if they're legit or not. Or
exactly. You come up and the guy's a bust.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he wasn't ready. They sent him back to Vegas. There he is hitting 340 again. With power.
Right.
So I'm happy to see, again, a small move, but happy to see that they're going to be in Syracuse. Maybe we'll take a ride up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's cold up there during baseball season. I know one of the guys that his nephew plays with Syracuse. He never seen snow until he got up there. He's from Florida. It was interesting.
The kid who played football.
Yeah. I never saw snow until he got up there.
Kid got a bad break. I don't know if you talked to him. Practice.
Yeah.
Really messed up his shoulder. So the poor kid's gonna sit this year.
Yeah.
So.
All right, George. That'll about
all right, Joe. That brings us to the end of show number something.
Yep. Hopefully, will the World Series be next 2 weeks? By the middle of the World Series next.
Yeah, we'll be back during the World Series probably.
Toward the end. Yeah, it depends.
They got to stretch that out as long as they can.
George.
All right, pal.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.